I'm Gabe. This is Joe. And that's Jonathan. We're going to see End of Watch.
Come on, baby. We might be walking to End of Watch. There we are.
Well, I'm psyched for a Jake Gyllenhaal movie. Anytime Jake Gyllenhaal's in a movie, I get excited because I've been a fan of his for years, ever since Bubble Boy.
Yeah.
Also, this looks like a pretty awesome-looking cop movie. It's from the writer of Training Day, and Training Day was fantastic, but at the same time, it's also from the writer of a lot of crappy movies. The guy's very hit and miss. So the question is he tapping into Training Day, or is he tapping into, for example, Dark Blue, which I really didn't like? That's what I'm really nervous about, although it looks really cool.
Along the same lines, I'm really excited because Training Day is my favorite Denzel Washington movie, and he has so many movies. That's really saying a lot. So many great movies. I think it's his best, and the writing is phenomenal in that movie. But you're right, this guy has a ton of misses like SWAT. But I'm really excited for Michael Peña. I was trying to think of stuff that he's been in, and the two roles that I just love him in are both comedies. 30 Minutes or Less, I loved his character in that movie, and Eastbound and Down. I don't know if you've ever seen that show.
I have seen neither of them and want to see both.
Oh, okay. Well, they're both great, and he is great in them. So I guess I've only seen him in a lot of comedies, except for Crash. But I saw Crash so long ago, I can't really comment on it. So I'm excited to see him in a more serious role. I want to see how it goes.
I like David Ayer as far as Training Day, and the way he just did that movie was amazing. I'm also kind of excited about seeing a fresh new cop movie. I mean, Training Day was, how long ago was that? 2000. It was a long time ago, so I feel like there hasn't been much out there that I know of, at least cop movies that I've wanted to watch. I'm kind of apprehensive about the whole camera effect of, shaking it all around. It's going to be, I think, really raw, because the storyline is he's carrying on this camera, and he's shooting this thing. So I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about the whole shaky camera, giving it a feel of real life.
There's so many movies like that. We've seen that done very well, and we've seen it done really horribly.
It's a super hit and miss format.
Yeah.
When it's on, it's great, and when it's off, it can be abysmal.
Yeah.
And it can really take away
very distracting
from what is going on. Pretty soon you just feel sick in the movie theater.
I
want to get off this ride.
Well, what it seems like they're trying to do is they're trying to make it like Cops or like any of those reality shows that follow police officers and try and capture that vibe of the real cop doing his job. It'll be interesting to see whether they can pull it off.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm psyched too. So
Jake Gyllenhaal's great. I mean,
we'll be back with our review of End of Watch. I thought this movie was great. I loved it. There were a few things about it that irritated me. There was one edit in it that felt really weird where it's like this musical fade to black and then it cuts to this other thing and it's like, that totally doesn't fit with the editing style of the whole rest of the movie.
It was like this awkward blank screen.
Yeah, it was
for like a full 2 seconds.
Yeah, it was.
You're like, what?
It was weird. And there were one or two other things. The guy who played the FBI agent appeared to have been an actual law enforcement officer or something because he clearly wasn't an actor.
Yeah. Never acted a day in his life. That was pretty bad.
Which really stood out because the acting in this movie was really top-notch across the board.
I think Michael Peña took it. They both did an excellent job, but I think he was the better actor, even though Jake was kind of more the star.
Yeah, I don't know that I could agree with you fully there, but I do have to agree that Michael Peña knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, I've seen him in mostly comedies, and he just took it home with this. He was excellent in this movie. I really liked the love interest for Jake Gyllenhaal. She played the sister in Scott Pilgrim. I can't remember her name.
Yeah, I can never remember her name either.
I thought she did a really good job too. The acting in this movie was just very real all across the board, except like you said, that one guy, which really just kind of was off-putting. It was a good choice for them to do the handheld camera through most of the movie.
Yeah, and it wasn't shaky as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was really well done. You felt it was real.
One of the most important things when doing a movie that's handheld is making sure the audience knows what's going on. And that's the problem with a lot of handheld movies, is stuff gets so crazy where it just gets lost because it's shaking around everywhere and you have no clue what's going on. But through this movie, you have a very clear idea of what's happening throughout the whole thing.
I don't know if you guys caught it. I know I mentioned it to you, Jonathan, during the movie itself, but I like the fact that right off the bat, the very first scene is of Jake Gyllenhaal doing this dramatic voiceover over the dash cam of the police cruiser. So right there, they tell you, this isn't strictly a documentary. This is part documentary, part traditional narrative story, which was good because had they not done that right at the beginning, it would have felt wrong because there was too much coverage on a lot of scenes. They cut to too many different angles for it to have been an actual documentary experience. But if you basically say, well, this is how we're shooting it, but it's not necessarily a documentary, then it plays really well. I mean, except for that one weird edit, I didn't feel that the camera work or the editing pulled me out of the story at all.
I didn't really catch that at the beginning until you said something, because I remember during the sex scene, I was like, are we really expected to believe that he's got his camera running for this? Like,
is someone else holding it? Because he's not.
Yeah.
I liked the movie. It was good. Here's where I think that it dropped off for me, and that was when he was looking at the gang guy. That's when it really hit me, and I love that scene where they're connecting. At that point, it was like this climactic building of, hey, this is, a street life. They're discovering more things. They're getting deeper and deeper in trouble with this gang, and then it just. And I can understand it because they want to do a real life type of thing, but I know you don't like to compare movies with other movies, but but Training Day had an epic ending, and this one, I don't know, I just wasn't sold on the ending. You know what I mean?
No, I feel what you're saying because I wanted it too. When I was watching it, I was saying to myself, they can't end it epic, but I really want them to,
Yeah.
But coming back to the type of story they were telling and the method they were used for telling it and the whole tone of the film, it wouldn't have been realistic. It wouldn't have felt honest to that story, although it is what I wanted. And what they did with it was true to the story, and it also felt anticlimactic. So I agree with you, but I do see the reason that they did it.
One thing that bothered me, it's not like a huge deal. I know you noticed it too, but if you're in a 100 square foot room and you've got 4 people with AKs on the upper level aiming and shooting at you, they are not going to miss you.
I actually disagree with you on this one.
There's no way. I mean, are stormtroopers being outsourced to the Mexican mafia now? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
I see what you're saying, but there's a reason that a lot of drive-bys are unsuccessful and it's mostly innocent bystanders that get hit is because fully automatic machine guns buck and kick and are almost impossible to aim when you're firing them full auto. I mean, it wasn't 100% realistic to where I would say, oh yes, this is clearly realistic. I mean, it was a movie, and I give them that the story wasn't going to end there. So I understand that it served a cinematic need, but it wasn't beyond the realm of believability, at least not for me.
I think I would have liked to see
Actually, we might have to cut this whole thing because it kind of gives away what the ending is.
I know, seriously.
I agree with you, though. The ending and the epilogue didn't really feel like they covered it the way that it should have been handled. At the same time, it doesn't change the fact that I really enjoyed this movie. I'm going to give this movie an 8.5. I really liked it a lot. I will watch this movie again. I recommend it. If you enjoy cop movies, yeah, absolutely.
I was actually leaning towards an 8.5 too. It's an excellent movie, great movie, worth every penny to see it in theaters. There's a few things wrong with it, but it is genuinely a very good action movie. I'll give it an 8.5 as well.
This is kind of funny, but I'm going to give it a 7.5. Now, I really enjoyed the film. The reason I docked some points, the ending. And this is, again, personal taste, personal preference of what you see. But the realism was there. You got a sense of the LAPD, what they deal with on a day-to-day basis. And I really like that because you came away from the movie really respecting what the cops do every day. I'll give it a 7.5 and worth seeing.
Yeah.
Am I the only one that just didn't really like either of the main characters, just as people, like as the characters? They're just like a couple of bros who became cops,
But it takes a certain type of personality to even want to be a cop in the first place.
Well,
and so it kind of has to be that kind of guy.
Yeah, and the fact that I didn't like the characters so much just proves how good of a job they did playing them. I just hate those types of people.
Yeah, I don't know that these are guys that I would want to sit down and hang out with, but I thought they were interesting, I thought they were well played, and I did feel like they were sympathetic. I wouldn't necessarily befriend them, but I also wouldn't begrudge them who they are.
And make sure the F word doesn't bother you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
if you watch this movie, if you're bothered at all by the F word, this movie's going to get under your skin, because there are scenes where it is literally every second word.
I didn't know the F word could be a verb, a noun, an adjective. I had no idea.
It's versatile. It's versatile, and he proves it.
Oh, yeah.
We want to thank Joe for being here. He's our sponsor today. And Joe?
Yeah, I'm sponsoring Road to the Movies today. I'm a LegalShield associate. Really, we're empowering people with the justice system. And I know Jonathan here, he's going to become a member, and it's helped out so many people. So click on the link in the description and watch a brief video, and it'll tell you what we're all about.
We're definitely going to put a link down in the description for that. Click on the annotations bar down below to go to our channel where you can like, subscribe, watch other videos. Also, check out our blog. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter. And we'll see you next time when we review Sinister. So, thanks for watching.